like you said, when they go and get into shape, obviously the first few steps of them getting into shape, they're then going to struggle with adapting to, I don't know, I think I heard you speak about it on a podcast in the past of not being able to go out with the friends on the weekend, or they might have to get up earlier, so the girlfriend might not be happy that they're setting an alarm first thing in the morning. And obviously the life starts to change a lot. Could that affect their emotions, the way that they think? Obviously they'll start to feel better, but it's going to affect everything else around them.
Yeah, that ends up being more of an identity issue than an emotional issue. Because like when you get someone that's like really overweight, someone that's obese, and they lose an awful lot of weight and they look better, they feel better, they're healthier, everything's better. But then after they reach a certain point, they start to gravitate back towards being obese. They either gain all the weight back or gain it back and then some. And that's because their identities remained fixed where it was when they were obese, even though their physical form has changed. And a lot of people don't understand that everything about your life will change. The clothes that you wear, the clothes that you shop in. Just so even something as unconscious as you go into the traffic centre, for example, most people have a pattern of behaviour for everything that they do. So people will have a pattern that they will tend to follow when they go into the traffic centre, the shops that they will go in. Well, if you select the shops that you go in to buy certain clothes to hide your body because of the way that you look, and then all of a sudden you no longer feel that you want to hide your body, you start going into different shops. So even that behavioural shift of going into different shops, it's a different environment, it might be different music, the clothes are different, the staff are different. Everything about your life ends up changing. The food that you eat changes, which means that when you go in the supermarket, your behavioural patterns of shopping for food changes. You're going down different aisles. You're looking at things that previously you never would have looked at. You know, the conversations that you have with people change because instead of being in the pub all the time, you're now in the gym. So the people that you're around change. Every single aspect of your life changes when you start looking after yourself more. And most people don't understand that when they start.
Do you think that's a big struggle for people when they are changing their identity, in a sense that they can't handle it or they don't feel like it sits right with them? Because I think a lot of people want to have six-pack abs, or they want to be a millionaire, but they don't actually understand what the life's going to look like when they get there. Like, if you win the lottery, what will your life actually look like when you win the lottery? What do you want to do with your time? It's all well and good saying that, you know, I'll go on all these amazing holidays, but then when you come back home, what would you actually do with it? Because I think a lot of people can get to a decent wage and actually live the life they really want to, but they just cave into sort of negative habits that they've always had. So then they don't end up doing what they actually want to do. And that's when their identity struggles to change. Do you think that people need to have a good sit with themselves and think, what do I actually want to get out of my life, before they then start to try and change their identity?
Yeah, it's very much a stepping stone process. You get a lot of people that they want the life that they think they want without understanding what that life's actually going to be like, what's required to have it, and think that they can have that life whilst being the exact same person that they've always been. But that person that you've always been has got those behavioural patterns, has got that mentality, that work ethic. So if you want this and you're currently here, the person you are here can't exist here, can't even reach this level. So lots of things will have to change. The friends that you keep, how much time you spend with your family might have to change, the partner that you've got, just your general lifestyle, what time you go to bed, what time you get up, the books that you read, how much time you spend watching TV, the content that you consume when you're on social media. I mean, realistically, if you want to change your identity, you've got to be willing to sacrifice anything of your life as it is now for the life that you want.
Yeah.
And the best thing that you can do is to speak to people that actually live the life that you think that you want, because lots of people will look at it and go, I'd be sick having all that money.
Yeah, that shiny object, that's what I want.
And you're like, yeah, you know what? It's great having all that money. What did that person have to go through between being at the level that you're at now to reach the level that they're at now? Do you want to experience all of that? Because most people don't. And that's why they go, oh, I want a six-pack. I want to look like this. I want to be a millionaire. And then they'll start the process of necessary to get to it. And once they're experiencing it, they go, I don't like this. And it's just like, right, you don't actually want that end goal. You want the rewards, but you don't want the journey. And in order to get the rewards and maintain them, you have to go through the journey. Yeah. Because that's how you grow to appreciate it. You know? Money is very much the same.
Yeah.
Like, say in the lottery, I can't remember what the statistic is, but it's an absurd percentage of people that win the lottery end up broke again within 3 years, I think it is.
I think I've seen that as well. And they don't end up happy either. Most of them end up unhappy. I can't remember, I was talking to, I think it was one of the first podcasts I filmed, the guy on who said there was I can't remember what it was. I think I was looking at one with monks, and they're miles happier compared to people who've ever won the lottery. They end up actually more unhappy because they end up losing most of the money that they actually won. And it just shows, like you said, because of that change in identity, they can't handle it because it's something that they thought they wanted, but then when they actually get it, they don't actually want it.
Well, it's not just that, because that's a very linear way to look at it. Because say somebody right now is poor and they've been poor their whole life. They're poor because of their mentality. They're poor because of the financial literacy and the understanding that they've got of finance, the work ethic, everything. So if you all of a sudden give somebody that's lived their entire life with that mentality £10 million, they don't have the financial literacy to know what to do with that money. So they just squander it rapidly and then end up broke again.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of them aren't happy with the money, but that's because they've not earned it, they've won it.
Yeah.
Now, you see that and people go, see, money doesn't buy happiness. I always say to people, what does poverty buy?
Yeah.
Because poverty ain't buying shit.
Nope. Not buying anything.
You get someone, I know plenty of wealthy people, like some multi-millionaires, self-made though, they're happy as fuck, mate. And it's because they've earned everything that they've got, and they've learned what they need to know to not only achieve it, but maintain it and continue to grow it along the way. Yeah. They've all made mistakes. Nearly all of them have ended up wealthy and then broke again, or close to broke, and then they've climbed back up because it's just part of the process. Like you no different than your physique. You want to get bigger, get leaner, etc. Start moving in the right direction. You think, oh yeah, I'm sick. I'm doing it. Like I'm getting leaner. I'm dropping weight. Oh, I really want a packet of crisps. Oh, yeah, I can get away with it because I've lost like 2 kilos this week. And then the next week you're still a bit leaner, and you're like, oh shit, I got away with it. I had them packets of crisps and I'm all right. So then you have more the week after, and then more, and then all of a sudden the weight loss has stopped, and then you've gained a little bit back. And then some people, they'll go a little bit further, and then they go, oh shit, I'm getting fat again. Right, I need to... So they'll ebb and flow, but until they finally realise the level of consistency that's required to carry on climbing. Yeah. People that have never had to go through those highs and lows, they can't appreciate something. So winning the lottery, yeah, it would be great because all of a sudden you don't have money worries, but they don't appreciate it.
So I hope you enjoyed this clip. It's just a little insight into my new podcast called The New Renaissance. If you want to check out the full episode, they'll be linked on YouTube or Spotify. Please subscribe on YouTube and please follow on Spotify and give me any feedback on the episodes that you listen to.